ever. Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. I love Chihuahuas, if you haven't noticed. I'm a little obsessed with my dogs. That one almost got me emotional, but I held it together because I have mascara on. Hi lovelies! So today I am going to be doing something a little bit different. It is going to be a collab with Lori Fike. She is so awesome. I love her so much, and she has an amazing channel. She does Lori Fike's Likes, which I think is so cool. I wish my name rhymed with like. And she is just amazing. So I will have her information down below, and after this video, go over to her channel and watch her do this tag. It is originally something that Kelly Patricia did on her channel. She did chronic illness questions, and I love her videos. Lori ended up loving her videos, so we're gonna do it as well. I'm gonna start out with the first question. I'm gonna get going because it is going to be a lengthy video because there's a lot involved. The first question is, what have you been diagnosed with? I have a little bit of a long list, but I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, depression, anxiety, migraines, asthma, and also chronic pain. That's what I've been officially diagnosed with, that laundry list. Number 2, what will you tend to do at night when you can't sleep? So for me, this is most nights because I have insomnia. I watch TV, watch movies, I will listen to audiobooks. Those are the good nights. If I'm not feeling well, I talk to you guys, and that's been a lot of help. I talk to you guys on Facebook or through texting or whatever it is, leaving comments, commenting back to you guys. I edit videos at night. Any of my videos that I've ever posted that are actually edited, I have insomnia and I've done them at night. I play with my dog. I talk to her and pet her and hold her up in the air and just really mess with her, and just, I think she's the cutest thing ever. I do take showers at night. That's pretty much, I don't usually take a shower during the day ever. It's usually at like 3 a.m. Number 3, worst experience / side effect of a medication. Mine was Prozac, and I went completely mental. It kind of put me in, I guess the best way to explain it is kind of like a manic state, but it also put me in hyper anxiety. I hurt my friend somehow because I was trying to get out of a car that was a 2-door, and so I pulled on her seatbelt, and I think I might have hit her, not on purpose, but that's what happened. And then I pushed her in her seat up against the dashboard, and I jumped out of a moving car. I jumped out of a moving car, people. And then I went and wandered downtown by myself, which is not a great idea. My friends couldn't find me. They were driving all around trying to find me, and I wouldn't pick up my phone. And I ended up sitting on a bench talking to literally a serial killer. Like, he was wearing like a big leather jacket, and then he had these like black tight leather gloves on. Like, he definitely was a serial killer. But while I was talking to him, a taxi came up, and I jumped into a taxi with a complete stranger, which, by the grace of God, it actually ended up being one of my high school friends. But I was hysterically crying, which I don't usually do in front of people. He was introducing me to his girlfriend and to this friend of his, and they were all like, why the hell is this girl in our taxi cab? So that was not a good experience. I think my roommate called my mom the next day, which, like, we don't do, but it was an emergency situation, and my mom came and like got me from my apartment, and I was like still mental, and it was really hard to get off of that medication too. I had really bad side effects getting off of it as well, so not a fan of Prozac, if you know what I mean. Number 4 is, how has your condition impacted your mental health? I, unfortunately, but fortunately, I'll explain, I've had anxiety and depression much longer than I've had fibro. So in many ways, it actually was a good thing that I had it before my fibro, because I know it sounds horrible, but I had doctors and medication, and people I trusted that were taking care of my mental health. So when I got fibro, I could lean on those doctors and therapists and psychiatrists for help. And honestly, my psychologist was the biggest help in me getting past a lot of things and being able to calm a lot of my mental health issues by helping me with disability. I really trusted him. I'd been seeing him for years, so in a lot of ways that was really great. But definitely when you have fibro, especially because it is such a constellation of symptoms, it's really difficult to understand yourself and then to explain it to other people, and it feels very lonely and like you're the only person. You feel crazy, you feel like I just am complaining all the time and whining, and I'm a burden to people, and there's just all this rush of things, and that can really impact your mental health. It's definitely been up and down as far as my depression and my anxiety with my fibro. And when I get slammed with a long flare, and if I don't keep myself in check, I can easily slip into a really negative space. At the end of November, it'll be 2 years since I was hospitalized for anxiety and depression, suicidal type issues. Still to this day, I have issues with it, so it's obviously not something I've conquered, but it's something that I have to keep an eye on. And so I hope that answered that question. I'm not really sure. Number 5, describe your social life. It's hard because I don't want to say it's worse now, because I love the people that are in my life, but again, it's been up and down, and I had a really vibrant social life before I had fibros. I think that was the hardest thing, because I went out every single night, hung out with friends every single day. We went to lunch, we went to dinner, I'd hang out with a friend all day, sleepovers. Like, I had boyfriends and dated, and it was just a lot. But when I got fibro, it was really difficult, especially explaining what the heck was wrong with me and why all of a sudden I drop off the face of the earth and I'm so sick. At this point in my life, I really value my social life because I have such incredible people in my life, and I think that I enjoy and relish being around them a lot more than when I was healthy, because it was just kind of like one of those things. Like, I hang out with my friends, like I take a shower, I eat food. You just don't really think about it, but now I really think about it, and my social life is few and far between. But when I'm feeling healthy, I definitely am with my friends and trying to pour into them and trying to be there for them and make them happy and make them smile or laugh. I include being in my social life, commenting back to you guys on your comments, and talking with you guys and answering your Facebook messages and emailing you guys back and making private videos for you and all of those things. Like, I include that in my social life because I really think you guys are amazing. Also, my sister from another mister, her name is Crystal, and she is absolutely amazing. There was a period in my life that I had no friends at all, like no contact with any people, and she was the only person that I talked to. So without her, I don't know what I would have done during that period in my life, and I just cherish her and value her so much, and she is always there for me. Always. Bottom line, always. So she's pretty incredible, but my friends now are just as amazing, and they just really get me and understand me and are there for me, and they're the most compassionate, understanding people. I just think they're angels. I don't even know how they deal with me, but they do, and they love me, and it's just amazing. I think I have deeper relationships that are more rooted in love and compassion than before, when it was just kind of like a casual thing. Even though I always had best friends, it was more light, and this is more something that I really get something out of, and I get poured into by my friends, and I just feel immense love from them. Again, I don't know if that answered the question. Number 6, what is the hardest thing to do when you are flaring? Everything. I mean, I really am not exaggerating. Literally everything is difficult. And I think for me, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, that fatigue is my hardest thing. It actually makes me like really angry at myself. Like, it makes me angry at fibro. And it's really difficult for me to like watch TV or watch a movie or read text or answer texts. When I'm flaring, I definitely can't take a shower, change my clothes, get out of bed. It's really difficult for me to eat, especially to keep something down. I can't make food. There are days that I literally cannot get out of bed. So going to the bathroom, anything that means getting out of bed is difficult. I'm not exaggerating. Walking, standing up, sitting up. With my migraines, nothing. I can't do anything. No sound, no light, no TV, no audiobooks, nothing. I cannot listen or see or do anything. Okay, that's really depressing. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, number 7 is, do you have worries for the future? I would say less now than I did, because I'm lucky enough that my family and I really talk about the future, and it may sound kind of morbid, but we do talk about, like, if my parents pass away, what will I do afterwards financially, what can I afford, because some of you guys may not know this, but disability checks are like $0. We talk about like, where would I live, how would I pay rent and get groceries, like just those two things I don't think I would be able to do. So we really talk about it and how I would set it up, and that calms my worries a lot, and just being able to talk about it really calms my worries, instead of just being in my head and being like, oh, you're not going to be able to do this, and you're going to be living on the street, and you're going to have to go to a shelter, and you're going to have to get a nurse, and like all these things that my mind just goes, like my OCD thinking just goes into overdrive and makes me feel crazy. Next question, 8, favorite comfort food. I was recently, I don't know how this did not get diagnosed earlier, but I was recently diagnosed with being allergic to gluten. So cream of wheat was actually my comfort food before that, which just made me probably sicker. So my favorite comfort food is cream of rice. It's definitely probably the only thing that I can eat when I am not able to eat anything, or I'm throwing up, or it's just the best for me. I have it, and I have it with a lot of butter and a little bit of brown sugar just to sweeten it up. And it's pretty much the only thing I can have, and it is awesome because it makes you feel kind of full, and I'm able to take my medication and not throw it up. So a lot of times comfort food is whatever I can eat so that I can take my medication. But also, I guess this isn't a food, but tea. That's a huge one for me. I drink a lot of tea. Sleepy time tea is my absolute favorite, and chamomile tea when I'm feeling really sick. Number 9, tell us a valuable lesson you have learned through being sick. I think when you're chronically ill, it is probably the most humbling experience that you can go through, because you have to give up your pride, and that was really difficult for me because I was a very independent person. I went to college, I worked while I was in college, 2 jobs, and I went to cosmetology school at night. So I did a lot. I'm a very driven, passionate person, and I love people, so it was incredible. So I was mental. Go from that to needing to ask for someone to drive me to the doctor. It's really difficult to give up that independence. It's also an extremely humble experience to have such a difficult time understanding what you're going through and your illness, but to have friends that love you anyways, and to not be able to show up when you make plans with someone, to be able to have to call them 5 minutes before you have plans and say, I'm really ill, I can't leave, and them say, it's okay, we'll hang out some other time, Emily. That's the most amazing experience for me. Also, when I get comments on YouTube like, you're inspiring, you're beautiful, you shine from within, I mean, things like that bring me to my knees, and literally I'm like getting goosebumps right now, but it is such a humbling experience because I never in my life thought anyone would say you're inspiring. I've only ever had people say that to me since I've been ill, so it's so incredibly humbling, everything, to have people that love me, to have people say that I'm impacting their life. It's just really special and really humbling, and you just appreciate everything so much more. Just to have friends that care for you no matter what, to be able to hang out with them, to be able to go for a walk, to go walk down to the beach for me, that I'm able to live here with my parents so close to the beach, that I get to go out and talk to my mom every single day, to be able to be close with my parents. I mean, everything is just such, I cherish it so much, and it's just such different life, but I appreciate everything so much more, and I look at it as such a gift, every single thing I'm able to do. Okay, number 10, name 3 things that you miss that were taken from you because of your health limitations. Number 1 is working. As I said, I went to school and cosmetology school, so I loved working. I was extremely wrapped up in my identity through working. When I went to the therapist once I had fibro, all I talked about was not being able to work, and that I wasn't valuable, and that what are my parents going to think? How are they going to be proud of me? How can I be proud of myself when I'm not making money and I'm not working and I'm not helping people? So that was definitely number 1. It probably took 2 years, and every single session I brought up working. It's crazy because people are always like, you're so lucky you don't have to work. And I'm like, if you even knew, if the work was taken away from you and you weren't able to do it, how painful that is. It's really just so hard, because I want to help people, I want to be in the field, and I got a taste of it when I did work. And what I'm passionate about is doing hair and doing makeup. That's what I'm so passionate and driven about artistically. It's how I express myself, and to not be able to do that is just crushing. And especially in this society, it's like the first thing people ask is like, oh, what do you do? And I, for a while, thought I'm a waste of space because I don't do anything, is what I used to tell people. And now I say there's other things. I make videos, I am there for my friends. My identity is not wrapped up in my work. But still to this day, if I'm being honest, number 1 is work. The other thing I miss is just being able to do whatever I want. Like my mom put it, is play. Like a little kid, like to just be able to make plans with someone, say, hey, let's go out to lunch tomorrow and at 11 o'clock, and for me to just wake up, get ready, and shoot out the door, drive myself, and go have lunch with someone. Or just wake up in the morning and say, I feel like driving around, and just hop in the car and drive around. And just all the little things you don't really think about that are just fun things that you're just able to just go and do. And if a friend is sick, just be able to drive over with a care package, and a lot of things I did before I was ill. I feel like I'm not there for my friends enough as they are for me. So that's a huge one for me, as I wish I could be there for my friends a lot more. The third thing is independence. That's huge, and I think pretty much all of number 1 and 2 answers are wrapped up in independence. Just being able to make your own money, to be able to sustain your own apartment, and just do whatever you want. I mean, come in at any hour, not answer to anyone, not have to ask for rides, to be able to say, hey, I'm going to pick everybody up to go to the movie. Not have to tell anyone your schedule or, you know, your doctor's appointments, and ask people for so much help in everything, to be able to take a shower or get to a doctor's appointment or anything like that. So those are my 3 things. The last question for this part of the video is, how old were you when you started noticing symptoms? I was 24 when I started noticing symptoms. and I was 25 when I was diagnosed. I definitely went through a solid year of testing and going to different specialists, and then finally going to a rheumatologist and being diagnosed with fibromyalgia. As far as my anxiety and depression, anxiety goes back as far as I absolutely can remember to when I was a child. I was always an anxious person and always really hypersensitive to sound, touch, anything like that. It was overwhelming, and I was just a really anxious child. Depression, when I can really nail it down that I can remember, is my freshman year of high school. So that really was when I started noticing my depression, and I think I was diagnosed my freshman year of college. So I didn't tell anybody about how I was feeling until my freshman year of college, and then I was diagnosed with depression. Check out Lori Fike's channel for her answers to these questions. We are doing a collab, and she's going to be answering these exact 11 questions as part 1, and she has a different illness than I do, so she might have a different perspective. I'm really excited. Definitely check out Patricia's videos doing these. She's so adorable, and I think this is really important, and we really want to raise awareness around this and not be silent about it and get the conversation going. So this is a tag, or I'm hoping it is going to be. So I tag all of you, and specifically I tag Julie, Lindsay M, and Jennifer H to do this tag. I would love to watch your videos. If you do make a video, please leave a comment letting me know. I hope you guys are having a pain-free, stress-free day. I'm sending out XOOs, and as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye! I'm gonna try to just what word was I just trying to say? The light is like attacking me. Look at this light. This is why I don't like filming during the day. I don't know how people do it. Look, that question was kind of a downer. Alrighty then. I'm like in a very Ace Ventura mood. Alrighty then. Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, anyone? No? Okay, just me. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Anywho, my dog, she's part of my social life, my puppy. I talk to her so much, poor thing. Well, this emoji. If you have an iPhone, you get it, and you'll get go with me, but okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that joke. She is named Crystal. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to shimmy it out break. Hi, Dad. What are you doing? Hey, Mom, I want to be a part of the video. Eating like yum yum yum. You don't feel good? Aww. Yeah, you're not feeling good? Maybe you could do this video. Yeah, tell everybody how you're not feeling good. I cannot explain to you how boring chronic pain is. Like, if you ever thought like, oh, lucky Emily, she gets to sit at home and she doesn't have to work and she just gets to be in bed all day. Yeah, try that when you're sick for a couple days and you're going freaking nuts and you just want to get out of the house. You have cabin fever, like you're sweating in your bed and you're just like nasty. Imagine that for a month. 2 months. That was intense. I just want a little bit cry.